All right, without further ado, let's bring him back on the show. Founder of Practice Freedom U and the author of the Practice Freedom Method, the Practice Owner's Guide to Work Less and Earn More. He's on a mission to save PT owners from the struggles and hardships of owning a healthcare business in today's world. I mean, it feels like it gets harder every day, right? Jamey's going to help you cut through all that. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show again, Jamey Schrier. There he is.
Hey, Jamey.
All right. As always, we get the hard questions out of the way first. Nobody wants to answer the hard questions later. What are we drinking?
Well, I am proud to say I am drinking an organic, because we're all health conscious,
All healthy.
𝐒𝐜𝐴𝐽𝐿 Ultra Cucumber Seltzer.
Everybody's getting into the seltzer game. I have had that one, and it is good. And I am secure in my alcohol, consummation ness to say I like those things. And especially as we come on into the summer weather, it feels a little lighter. I don't mind a beer or two or maybe three, but you can drink a couple of those seltzers and not feel awful. I'm doing something called what is this one? This is a summer IPA from this is very hoppy. It's called Summer Break. Everybody from Sierra Nevada, everybody wants summer break. You remember that? It's almost like a theory and a feeling, because as a kid you were like, summer break, man, summer, no school, it feels good. Well, cheers to you, my friend. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you so much. And as my daughter would say, or she did say the other day, it's like, I'm getting ready for the summer bod. So
gotta get the summer bod.
51 Smart. Years old. I don't know what kind of bod there is, but I'm at least getting ready for the summer.
That's smart. All right. So in the intro, we've had you on the show before. I tell people all the time, if you're thinking about starting a practice, if you're running a practice, take a look at the stuff Jamey's putting out there, because it's going to save you. I mean, you talked about literally learning from the one thing that hit me last up, learning from fire. I mean, we talked about that experience that you had from having a fire, starting from square one, where that was almost like a freeing method where it got you back to the beginning. But today we're going to talk about practice freedom. So those two words, when you put them together, I love when you kind of understand the concept, but you're not really sure what it means. You know what each of those words mean. So practice freedom, both of those sound good to me. When I say practice freedom, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I've been using those terms, practice freedom, for many, many years, over 10 years now, because when I was going through, you talked about the fire, you talked about some of the hardships that I went through as a practice owner in physical therapy and doing all the things that us overwhelmed people do. I couldn't explain what I wanted to do. I said, well, I just want to not have to treat so much. Like, wait a minute, you don't want to treat? You're a therapist. I go, I just want to have control. I just want to have. And then I ran into some people. I was in this mastermind circle trying to get some help. And they said, well, you just want freedom. And I went, yeah, I want freedom from my practice. I want practice freedom, damn it.
Yeah.
And I just kept using that term around. And then many years later, I said, I'm going to create a whole business around practice freedom and try to help teach other people how to get practice freedom and get control of their business, work on the business, not in it, as we heard, and really have that freedom, money and time and all the things that we're going to talk about. Yeah. And of course, how to actually get that.
Well, let's talk about start with the why. Why does practice freedom matter? Why is this something, if someone says, well, yeah, of course I want practice freedom. Why does it matter? What does it allow someone to be able to do?
Well, freedom is control. And I've never met anybody. I mean, you and I were talking before this about some of the things going on. We want control. We want to do our best work. We want to show up and do what we love to do, what we're passionate to do. And when business owners start out as clinicians and they open up a practice and they want to build and grow their practice, a lot of times they don't have control. Like, their schedule are really other people's schedules. They're answering questions nonstop. They're getting to this overwhelm. They don't have time for their family. They don't have enough money to pay the bills or to live the lifestyle that they thought they would have. That's the opposite of freedom. That's the opposite of control. So to me, practice freedom is just having control and focusing on the things that you love to do and creating the life and the lifestyle that you want. We read about it in books, and maybe when we were younger, we said, one day I'm going to have that, but it's actually real. You can have that, and you don't have to sacrifice anything that you believe in, anything that you want. So when I think of practice freedom, that's the place that I'm coming from.
All right. So what prevents it then? I mean, obviously, if everybody wants it and we go into healthcare, physical therapy, wherever direction you're coming from, what are the barriers, the roadblocks? What do we get tripped up by?
Well, it's us. I mean, like anything else, we're the solution, and we're also the big old bottleneck at the top of that big old Coke old school bottle. You know, there's something I wrote down here, and it's when you want to grow your practice, there's a formula that happens. The results you get in your business, and I'll dare say the results you get in your life or any job that you may have, has to do with how you think. It has to do with the actions you take. And then, of course, they deliver the results. I mean, that's a simplistic version. So the way to do that is it starts with how we think about things. Because how we think about things, there's a great saying that one of my mentors, Dan Sullivan, said. He goes, your eyes only see and your ears only hear what your brain is looking for. So the question is, what is your brain looking for? If your brain is seeing something in your business that is something that you really shouldn't be focusing your time and attention on, such as every little problem and fire that you're trying to put out, but you're not focusing your time on, let's say, referral generation or putting in systems or processes or something on that matter, then you're going to get results aligned with where you're putting your time and attention.
Right.
So that's really what it comes down to. That's what I discovered in this whole journey. It's not about the secret formula to referrals. It's not about the perfect way to build a culture for your team. The answer, it's about a combination of all of it. And that all starts with the owner. And it's how we think about our business, how we think about our practice. Because, Jimmy, the training that you've had, I've had, and everybody here that's listening to this have had, has come from school. That's the training. School's job was to do one thing and one thing only. And that was to help you pass the boards so you could become a licensed physical therapist.
Correct.
Well, that mindset went into being, a therapist, like working for someone else. And then eventually you said, well, I want to own a business. I guarantee you did not put the same time and the same money and the same attention around how to run a business. You took the mindset of a clinician, very, very different than a business owner, and you brought that mindset into this world. And that's the problem right there. And that's the thing I want to solve, is give people how to think about their business. And yes, some strategies, but how to think about things. Because when you think about things in a different way, that's going to lead you to a different action, a different strategy, which is then going to get you a different, hopefully, a better, more desirable result.
Different outcome. PracticeFreedomU.com is the website where you can find more about it.